I found 2 subwoofers from storage. I gave them away. The new owner is very happy, because he had this. Oh no! Can this work? How do we set it up? How does it sound? And did the sound improve? How does this fit my story with measurements and DSP and tuning? We will see. Look at this, he has some great speakers. They just need a little help in the low end. They are powered by a Harman Kardon integrated amplifier. Subs go up front, just outside the main speakers. There and there. If this doesn't work, we have a problem, because there is really no other practical placement of the subwoofers that are possible. And we have no DSP, no processing, no ability to fix things. But look at this. It looks gorgeous. Yes, there will be music. I will show it to you. But be patient. First, we need to talk about the subwoofers. I designed and built those some 15 years ago. It's a 10-inch pairless driver, very good, decent X-Max. It's the variant with a nice motor for ported boxes. Hypex amplifier from the time before DSP, which you can't see because it's mounted in a compartment at the back of the cabinet. And yes, there is acoustic loading, a very long, very large port, which enables this small 10-inch driver to reproduce true sub-bass down to 20 Hz. Specification is 105 dB at 20 Hz, half plane at 1 meters. Quite decent for such a small cabinet. It's built in cardboard, also called MDF, which is the most common material for both expensive and less expensive loudspeakers. It's finished in high gloss white. It's very heavy due to this cardboard. Sound is quite good. It's very clean sounding, low distortion. It's more towards a relaxed character. It's similar to most commercial subwoofers. Slam and dynamics are not its best virtues, one can say. How are they compared to the quite a bit smaller T6 featured in my previous video? Well, the T6 has an edge in a more lively, dynamic sound, and it has the DSP amplifier, so it's more contemporary design. But these have a real 20 Hz extension and a bit more output, so you can make use of that. The T6 would be a hard sell against these, I would say, because after all, the size does matter. Compared to the larger compact horns, like this one, T6030 for instance, which you can't see because it's out of frame, they lack the sense of power and this impact you have from the larger horns. Tuning. No measurements. No use for because there is nothing to adjust. So what do we need the measurements for? If it doesn't work, I'm sure we will hear that. We lower the high pass on the subwoofers like I described in a previous video, where we set up Carlotto's subwoofers with main speakers running full range. The subwoofers will fill in gradually. At the very low end they play at full level, and then they gradually dips off, so that we don't get a bass range that is overpowered in the upper bass region, where both main speakers and the subwoofers play together. Put on some music, adjust the level so that the bass is reasonably balanced. Then we're done. That was quick. But does it work? We play Leaves from Flashbulb. This has some very low impacts that feels like you are sort of suspended, moved in the air. It's like those boom. And if the system is able to reproduce it properly, then you get this shaky feeling. It's not because the whole room moves like it actually does in room 2 when you play it, but it's the movement in the air, the energy at the very, very low frequencies that creates this. And yes, we can definitely hear the lows, and there is a subtle feel. You have some sense of this moving feel. And that's quite good. Can't really expect much more. It's not a large subwoofer after all. And the lows are clean with no excessive distortion. So that's a pass. Let's try something else. Gaddafi from Infected Mushroom from the album BP Empire. We need some volume. That might not be too good an idea, because it sounds quite nice at reasonably volume. When we turn it up, it doesn't sound quite so nice, to put it that way, but surprisingly good, and considering that there is no DSP, no EQ, no tuning of this system, and everything is there, it's reasonably free of very bad resonances or boom. So what we miss here is the attack, the slam that is also present on the Gaddafi. It's simply gone. It's not present at all. That is something that you need. Then you need something like the larger systems to be able to do that. And the Gaddafi really doesn't sound that precise or dry in the lows. It's more of a muddy mess anyway, regardless of the system. As long as you reproduce the very low end down to and slightly below 20 Hz, you will get this distorted mess in the low end. So that's how it is. And why does this sound good? It sounds good because we were lucky with the placement, and the subwoofers are not bad at all. This is how many people set up their subwoofers. There is no measurement, no DSP tuning, but that doesn't mean it can't work, at least better than no subwoofers. The quality of the subwoofers always matters. We could add the processor to this system, because the amplifier actually has line in and line out, so you can split the power amplifier section and the preamp output, put in a processor in it. There will be a cost to this, and hassle, and it needs proper tuning. That takes time. And it will not fix impact and slam, because that is a property of the main speakers and the subwoofers. And the speakers and the subwoofers here simply does not have that. Instead, I would recommend some acoustic treatment to the room if he wants to put in efforts to improve the sound. For now, it works just fine for its intended purpose, and those subwoofers, I would say, lifted the overall sound experience up to another level. We will end this with putting on some flashbulb. We have the track Nextless. It's a very bass-heavy track. I've used it on lots of demos of the F25 system here in room 2. We will play that now and enjoy it. And look at how gorgeous this system now looks with those subwoofers flanking the main speakers.